All right, kids, this is Darth Devil Daddy doing a gaming channel special. I'm doing a little something here for Burnout. Not just Burnout 3, but all things Burnout. And here is why. While creating this list, well, I didn't even start trying to create this list. I started trying to do an easy game video for my other channel. It's pretty simple. What I do on the channel is I go into what I want to do, have my best of, I do my take on one game. Is this really an essential game for your system? Well, I could decide which one to do. I've played all of the Burnout games. They're all really fantastic. So where do you go from there? It's like, okay, well, I don't know. So there we are. I've got multiple Burnout games that I'm going to cover here. Now, the first thing one does is when they consider what the Burnout games are, well, it'd be good to know what you're looking at. So I'm just going to try and list them out real quick. Burnout 1. It wasn't even Burnout 1, it was just Burnout. And it was produced by Acclaim, EA, a little bit of everything else. In 2001, it was released for the PS2, the Xbox, and the GameCube. It was an aggressive racer. Great game. Oh, pardon me. Then came Burnout 2, Point of Impact. And the crash events started happening. 2002, PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube, and PlayStation 2 again. Excuse me. Of course, right in the middle of a video. I'm so sorry about that. Don't know where the hell that's coming from. Anyway, things move on. And this is actually my first Burnout game, even though I had owned a PlayStation for years already at this point. Burnout 3 Takedown. This is the one that I played for hours and hours and hours because my oldest son liked the crash events, and he was a huge fire truck fan. He was still a little boy then. So I had to get to the fire truck. So I mastered the crash events in these games. I love the crash events in these games. And, you know, Burnout 3 has some of the best crash events. Great racing, road rage, all sorts of fun stuff. Well, a year after that, really, 2005, it was just baller, man. I mean, I can't go beyond the fact PSP and also NDS had Burnout Legends released, specifically small game system. It took components of 1, 2, and 3, especially all the crash events, but a lot of great racing, and put them onto a small system. Same year, Burnout Revenge releases for PS2, Xbox, and X360. And that's the one I got mine on. I'm still playing the same copy from way back then. And at that point, actually, come to think of it, I don't even think I had... Yeah, I didn't even have it in that year either. It took a couple years for me to get it because my youngest son was already born at that point. Anyway, though, Revenge changes its layout quite a bit, but a lot of the core stuff is still there. So you get great crashes, you get great cars, great racing all around. The fifth Burnout game, Dominator, comes out on only the PS2 and the PSP. Kind of weird, but here's why. If you'll notice, it's the one game Criterion doesn't really have its hand in. It introduces burnout chains. Yeah, So you can take all those things and make Burnouts and then go forward on to the next thing. After that is Paradise, 2008. So they went back to back on these again. So it was like 2 years. The British company does Dominator, and then Paradise. Back to Criterion. It goes free range. Instead of having multiple maps over the world, you've got multiple map environments and a pretty different system. It feels fairly similar to Midnight Club, though. Like you're driving around in your car, you can just drive, man, and it's cool. Now, lastly, there's Burnout Crash. This takes just the crashes, puts them into 3D format, while a bit prettier, kind of reminds me of the original Grand Theft Auto. So it's a third person view. I gotta go back for a second on Paradise. Back to what it was released on: X360, PS3, and PC originally, and then there was a remaster put for PS4, X1, and the Nintendo Switch. So there's that. But the Crash was put on iOS, PS3, and 360. I believe it was a freebie, so it'll make sense in a moment why I'm saying that, because I'm going to put them in my order. I'm going to start at the bottom, and strangely, the last one, Crash, is on the bottom. Crash is trash. Okay, aside from being just crash events, third person like original GTA, which barf, clunky, hard to control. Let's see what my other note here says. The funny thing is this is the one that I looked at other people's ratings on these games. I'm doing a bit of my own. I think mine aren't going to be too far off in one very specific way. Everybody has Crash on the bottom of their list. If you have an opportunity to play it for free, or do a carpentry project where you might bash your thumb a few times, the carpentry project still might be better. Burnout 2 is my number 7. Point of Impact. It's about the same racing as Burnout 1, which is okay. I cannot say it's bad. It's got video game music as compared to the actual, kind of big 80s, 90s hits. It's very, it's kind of clunky. It's hard to control, especially in its new Crash stuff. The Crash stuff on it is a little painful. So I'm just going to go right there. I wish it was better, but it's not really. So let's not just kill ourselves on that. That's just the way it is. Next on my list, Burnout 1. It's just the racing, but it's really good at it. Its functionality is still above form in the fact that it's just not as pretty. I mean, this here is the third one. It's got the lights, it's got better crashes. 1 and 2 are okay, so no complaints there. Next on my list, the 5th one is, strangely, also the 5th one in the series, which is strange. You'd think they'd get better, but Burnout Dominator has some problems. Around this time, they were starting to look at pulling some people from Criterion over to other projects, and they just didn't use Criterion. They used a very British thing, and the car selection, roadways, and everything took on a more English flavor, which is not necessarily great for video gaming, because it was missing the American muscle class almost entirely, and a lot of other fun things. So it was really really a disappointment there. On the other hand, it's competent. You know, I cannot say it's not like at least a B grade game. It's certainly worth playing. It has the burn chains. It has little secret areas that are pretty fun to play out on. It's, in general, a solid game, but, you know, not really my favorite. Now, I'm going to have up for you the number 4 on my list. And I'm not going to be able to do much by way of gameplay because it's going to be pretty hard to put this in any way. My number 4 is Burnout Legends, which is kind of interesting that it got here, but it got here for several reasons, but it can't go any higher for several other reasons. So let me hit Burnout Legends here. This is a PSP graphics. PSP. So, I'm sorry about the music. I gotta go on to something else. Wink. We'll pull that out here. Load profile. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. But yeah, I mean, this is damn good graphics for as small as it is. And I'm going to take you over to the Coops. It has a lot of the classes, so you got a ton of cars to play from, which I love that. Event-wise, there's probably the most problematic of the whole lot right there. Let me put that up again. Well, actually, I'm going to take this, because the things that really work for me, it's got all the crash events. Cool. It's got all the records. It's got... Oh my god, let me think what else it's got going here. The garage has about 89 cars. There's signature takedowns, special events, crash headlines are back as again. Those were fun to get in Burnout 3. It also has a lot of stuff from Burnout 1 and 2. Interestingly, the airport map, which I hated in the original, I liked in the new ones. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on there. Let me back up a second here, and I will show you Pursuit, because this is probably my least favorite event. Burnout crash events? What? Anyway, though, it looks great. There are a few things that are really weird with it. For one thing, there was a crash event I was playing, and I hit the crash breaker. And the one of the semis became the focus of the camera and just bounced and bounced and bounced around. Okay, so yeah, this is the airport, which I was hoping to show you. So see, it's all here. Now, on this screen, it looks fairly good, but unfortunately, it's a little hard to control. This is like looking at it on your phone screen. And honestly, there are a few other weirdnesses. For instance, when you're doing crash events, it doesn't really show you the like the points accumulating, so you don't know what you're doing precisely as far as damage. And that's kind of weird and unfortunate. Oh, did I put it into third person again? Oh, I probably did, didn't I? There we go. But yeah, it's a pretty good game, but it's just too much for the system sometime. I mean, we got a semi that's bouncing around like a pinball. It's a bit much to ask. It's just not doing it right. So, unfortunately, it provides so much but can't do it all the way. Now, strangely, when we get to our list, you're looking at the wrong game right now. Though, admittedly, it has its own little weird picadillos and whatever. My next game on the list is actually Revenge. This took me a while. As a matter of fact, a lot of this list took me a while. I put hours into playing these games. I mean, I've already put hours into playing these games, so I had to replay them. So I could go, what do I like the best about these games? Burnout Revenge has the best crash and race balance. Its crashes are very good, competent, strong. The racing component of it is great. The drift is incredibly fun. It holds together well. It doesn't have the burnout chains, but not really quite the same necessity that it does. It's got a fine list of cars, though a little bit truncated. It controls really well. I mean, it's one of those games where you have... How do I put this? Your controls are intuitive. You understand what they are. You feel them. You feel the car through them. I mean, it's just great. This is a must-have game, I think. Which is a problem, because the other twos are also must-have games. Now, give me 1 second here, because I'm going to try and switch things around quickly. My next game, by the way, is actually not on this system. I have to go back to Burnout 3. Burnout 3 Revenge and the final one, Paradise, were really difficult for me. Burnout 3 gets an incredibly high placement on multiple levels. I'm going to show you some of the stuff that really, really works for me on Burnout 3. The Revenge game has a fantastic mapping system. I cannot knock it. But what this one has, I'll choose a single event. We'll say Road Rage. Okay, this is not it. And the World Tour area, this is where it really pans out. You actually get a map of the world. So here's the region of the world. There's the region of the world. There's the region of the world. Pretty cool. Say Far East. Here is the Island Paradise map for events available. The events are really nice. Face Off, Race, Special Event. Pretty cool. I like Eliminator. I may even play Eliminator. I don't know. I'm trying not to play too many of them right now because, aside from, how do I put it? I don't want to take up all your time with this. You know what I mean? I'm probably going to... It's quite possible I'll do a video on each of them, like giving them their own ranking. But... And that'd be my other channel. These... I was trying to do something quick, too. It's funny, I ended up spending 2 weeks on something quick, so yeah, good job there. Preview Lap is the one that's held. Road Rages are one of my favorites. This game's Road Rages are incredible. I think it beats out on the Legends Road Rage for sure, because that one, sometimes you just can't knock the damn cars off the road. I still think it beats on Revenge's Road Rages. Because in this case, I feel like the car selection's a little better. I enjoy them more. I feel the difference in the cars more. And that's a huge point of concern for me. If you're going to have multiple cars, I don't want them all feeling like the same car. Now, in Legends, they don't feel like the same car, but some of them are just outright impossible to control. Some of them are crazy off the board, fly around. there's a number of things that I like about them. This one, on the other hand, you can get your... Nice. I think that's actually something I needed as a... That's going to be a bit of an irritant. I wasn't expecting to play a whole game on this one. And then, of course, I get something that would actually turn into a... Actually, I can probably transfer that as a different idea. Anyway, though, I was trying to say is I'm trying to get it to where I'm not just playing a video game for you. I really want to get into the meat of the thing. But the... Whoa, takedown rampage. The big rig takedown is actually a specific... Oh, wait, I probably already have it on this one. I was thinking on Burnout Legends. Legends has some of the same stuff that this has, so a lot of the great things out of this game are done in Legends, just not as well. Impact time cameras are great. I'm not sure if you noticed that, but like I can steer the car during impact. You can get after-touch takedowns and things like that. Needless to say, Revenge has a revenge component like that. Revenge also had a vertical takedown, basically in the air, but it still just doesn't do this component as well, strangely. The graphics are better. But I mean, this is just flippin' fun. It's like a cartoon where it's completely unrealistic, but who cares? I mean, I don't want mangled bodies flying out of the car anyway. Yeah, the graphics are actually still better on the other thing, but Jesus, man, this is awesome. Flames, blood. No, I don't need blood. I just want it to be fun, you know? Okay. One of the problems I've also found on the Legends one of this, because of the small size, and it's unfortunately just medium, the blue diamonds aren't always as easy to see, and I end up getting in a position where my car, I can't. It looks like another car has a blue diamond over it, and I try and hit it, and it's a civilian, which of course makes for a rather difficult time. Okay. Yay, wall takedowns. All right. I don't want to do that. Oop. How many cars? 14? I need 20. Yeah, screw this. I should be done on this anyway. I don't want to spend all your time watching me play this. So, great. 14 takedowns. Won a silver medal. I gotta see if that big rig thing came through. There's burnout points. There's takedown awards. All sorts of things that show up on the kind of the remix of it for the PSP. So obviously Road Rage is one of my favorites. Crash parts of the game are really great. What are you trying to do? Please just don't. Okay, good. The big crashes in this game, however, are also equally great. So let me take you to one of the... No, that's not it. Maybe one of these. Nope. Hopefully one of them's in here. Special Road Rage Face-Off. You know what might be easier? Let me do it this way. Single event. Crash. Let's go further down. Oh, Tuck Down. That one's done in the Orient. However, I do like... How about... Oh, Leap of Faith looks good. Now the thing is on these single events, I can choose any of the cars for this kind of thing. Oh, by the way, this is from the first game, the Custom Coupe Ultimate. Yeah. I don't have a lot of those specialty cars. I do have these specialty cars. And you start getting into the heavyweights, super heavies, like buses, garbage trucks, and of course the fire truck I told you about earlier in the video, because that was fun for my boy. Gotta take care of my baby, even though my baby's now in his 20s. Probably would have been embarrassed to hear this. I don't know, he used to show up occasionally on the show, but he was not much of the, how do I put it? He was not much of the one to go into being a ham on camera. Unfortunately, the younger one who was, you can probably look back in some of the older videos, I may have them still, he really could ham it up. Kid had that down pat. Oh no! Oh no! And this is the kind of thing you could do. Oh man, total. Oh no! Okay, is there another one coming? Crash breaker! Okay, the thing about the crash breaker is, not enough time. Yeah, I'm not getting any records on this one. But that's kind of how those look. I'm going to get on to the last one, because as much as I really want to spend my time just showing you all the insides of this game, I have another game I wanted to show you a little bit of and explain to you why I think it is entirely worth being the number one. Now, I'm sorry I can't keep the music on, because one of the great charms of almost all of the games is the music. And I don't know, copyright strike makes it to where I can't actually just get and talk to people or anything. So here we are in Paradise. And this is the one that has, how do I put it? Of course, it'd be easier to put if I had the right controller in my hand. This is the one that has the kind of cool midnight club racer vibe to it. It's not midnight, it's not Tokyo, but it's got all the games laid out somewhere in there, kind of like the Need for Speed did. It still has the beautiful destruction on it. This one has the best in the cars, though. I'm not gonna lie. First off, they have different classes of car. This one's boosting under stunt. This one is aggression. This one is a speed boost. If you haven't figured it out, speed starts off to where you have to get all of your boost at once. Until your boost is built, you cannot boost. And then once it is, you can boost chain. Aggression, the more aggressive stuff, the more things you hit, the more you take out, the more boost you get. I mean, that's true of anything. The more things you take out, the more boost you get. But stunt is based on the tricky little things you can do. And honestly, they all have a distinct feel to them. Driving this stunt car is different than that stunt car. This one is a big old lead sled. It turns and corners like you think a lead sled might. This LM Classic has Italian sports car feel to it. It is just freaking phenomenal. And like all the game cars, it's a made-up brand and everything, but you know what it is when you feel it. This one here is pretty much Mater. It's big, it's dumb, it gets the job done. But all of these play in a fun way. So that's part one on it. Part two is the long continuous map is kind of a beautiful thing. Actually, let's select it, and I'm going to see what kind of car colors I can do with it. Finish one. And here's finish 2. Oh, that's pretty snappy. You know, gloss, metallic, pearlescent. I don't have a lot of colors for this, but I have enough to where you can see some cool stuff. Wee. So it's got that multicolored paint. Let's take that back to metallic. So see, pretty cool, pretty fancy, pretty what? Okay. Happy with a lot of this stuff. Let's go back to picking another car, because, I mean, you can change all the cars, and that I'm pretty happy with, too, because a lot of these games, you pick out your car. See, there's that one. Let's see, if I got another one of those, I think I have something like that. There she is. This one is pretty fun, too. Check that out. Got your babe on your car, and you can do all the same stuff with it. Because some of the other Burnouts, you get a really cool paint job. You can't change the paint. Like the Dominators are always black with fire, and I kind of get that. It's a thing. It's a motif. So, you know, you go right into your boosting, having a great time. Whee! And you smack the crap out of your car, and it shows really quick, right? Wreck. Let me pull it around, though. Let's see if I can... Bonk. Okay, do I make my front end look like crap? Oh, you know I can do. That way we can see it all directly here. And... bash. Okay. So, see, she's damaged up. Oh wow, I'm on a really different part of the map than I was expecting, so I'll try and get to something fun quick. Bonkers. There's different pull-throughs on this game that the other games don't have because they don't need them. Now that there was an event marker. If you look on the top right that says where you're at, the roads you're on, and things like that. Well, there's little event markers and things like that as well. Bonk. Near miss. That's kind of a hit the way that went. Bonk. Okay. And turn left here. Oop, not quite. Oh, shoot. I'm looking for the repair shop. But there's a lot of different events. Strangely, the one thing in this, and you're thinking, how would you not be, how are you okay with this? It doesn't have the crash event. It has a lot of other things. It doesn't have the crash events per se. There's no big reward for crashing your car, which is, if you think about it, is a very strange event anyway. The other games all have it, so it's not bad. See? Car fixed. Yay! And there's gas stations and other things. This also has little secret areas, and sometimes you miss anyway. Bonk. Oh, that's ugly. But, is it a drivable? It's a drivable. And we can just take it right back on through. So yeah, the different events, different cars work better. Okay, fastback burning route. These burning routes are very geared to specific cars. The car I have would have to be the one that would be good for the burning route in question, so I don't have that. Let's log. Move your truck. This has a lot of fun driving to it. I mean, it just... Okay, stunt run. That's basically driving around wherever the hell you can to get cool stunts in. There's a lot of these back gate areas. Hello, back gate area. Did I miss a back gate? Oh, sorry about that. There's a variety of things. There's billboards to crash and, you know, stuff like that, which is, I think, pretty standard for a game, but, you know. Whee! Hey, there's a billboard. That just threw me right up on the train tracks. So that's kind of fun. Bonk. Oof. Some of these are a little harder than others. Drivable? Nope. Some of these bridges are out. The Marked Man event is actually really cool. Marked Man is basically you have to get from point A to point B, and there are cars that are big bullies that will try and keep you from getting there. And I don't mean they're big bullies as in, oh, they hurt my feelings. They're not just cussing at you. They're big bullies as in they're pretty much bulldozers, and they'll wreck your car. There is a drivable. Another thing that happens, sometimes you can open up a car, but you have to actually just chase it down and knock it off the road to get it. So they show up around the map and you hunt them down and knock them off, which is kind of similar to Pursuit. It doesn't have the damn time limit on it. You don't have to really pursue it. So in general, kind of cool. Hey, that was the Vegas burning route. Is this the Vegas? It looks trashy enough to be Vegas. You may be with me on my first burning route. Oh my god. Okay, so this is the burning route. Basically, it's a burning lap. Drive from one place to another. Alright. Come on, Trashmobile. I have 50 seconds to get there. I would not be expecting to do it. Not that I'm a bad driver or anything, it's just unfortunately my luck with these things has not been too terrific all the time. But, you know, I might have my lucky day. Okay, and holy hell. Nailed it. Yes! I don't know. Wow, really nailed it. Almost 14 whole seconds extra. Oh yeah, licensing. Needless to say, as you get through the licensing, your car gets better and better, or your car selections get better, open up, etc. Oh, the Carnival available at the junkyard. Nice. So there's a reason one does that. How cool is that? I have never gotten one of those before. So neat thing is, of course, when you get to your junkyard, oops, it'll be there for you. So way cool. What else is going on in this game? I mean, obviously the car selection has been great. I'm assuming this car is going to look pretty much like a lot of the other cars I've driven. And it's funny, I know that thing is saying it's over there, but I know that the closer one is actually probably... No, it's probably that one. Oops. Parked cars kind of suck, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, there's a little extra ramps and stuff on the sidewalk because, you know, safety last. That's my opinion. There it is. There's the other junkyard. Whee! Whoops. Yeah, it's kind of a weird trying to talk and drive at the same time. This is why, you know, when I drive like a madman in real life, I don't necessarily have the kids along. Like, hey, shut up or you're all going to die kind of thing doesn't really go too well. Especially when the wife's in the car. Holy hell. You wouldn't believe how much complaining you get over something like that. When you guys get married, I mean, it'll make sense. But right now, probably not. Like, you're going to kill my babies. You know how hard it was to make them. Stuff like that, you know. And it's like, yeah, well, they're going to go anyway. I mean, not today. Certainly at some point. That's what happens. We all do. And then she just looks sad and cries and crap. So, you know, we don't do that conversation too often. There's other little things, like the parking garages. There are different places that have different jumps off of them. They're kind of like event jumps almost. They are pretty damn sweet. I like them. All in all, This is one of those games that I find to be incredibly addictive. It is just a beauty of a game. Okay, that's a gas station. I don't want gas, I want repair. But yeah, there's all sorts of little back areas. There's little ramps and things that are fun to find. Oh, this is one of my favorite areas too, because... Oh, come on. Did I pass it? There it is. The paint shop. Which, you know, since my car is like... Oh, well, let me repair for... Alright, fine. I'll repair first. I just have to repair it before I paint it. Whee! Oh. None of the uh-oh, better get Mako stuff. Yeah, and there's some pretty wicked, crazy jumps in this game, too. I'm just... You try and get a car to each of the paint places so you get all the fun stuff for the cars. And okay, we're heading west. So yeah, other fun things in the background aside from, you know, like different rib places and stuff. Okay, this I have to say has some of the better, drifting too. There's... Come on. Ah! Obviously, these cool big mountain places. This one handles like a pig. I'm not gonna lie. I am not as happy with the handling on this as I have been on other vehicles. I cannot tell you that. Of course, the other one, it's a handles kind of like a pig too, so no complaints on that. I guess since this is pretty much the other car, just slightly less good. Let's see if there's anything cool this way. Exploring this place though has turned out to be like a real bit of a thrill. It has a lot of the fun facets of it. I do enjoy the traffic driving upstream in the traffic. I usually do a lot better when I'm not talking at the same time, which I usually don't play while I'm talking, so... Okay, there we go. Come on, kid. That's not one of the billboards, though. I was trying to hope... it has some of the same fun stuff of the original too. Well, actually, I guess back to the third one, where you have a crash DJ and he's talking and he lines up events and stuff like that. Makes fun of you if you screw up your stunt runs or whatever. Not that way. So yeah, I mean, it just... Man, dang it. It has everything, and I'm still torn. I mean, honestly, Revenge, this, and Takedown are all incredibly good. And it's not even like a... It's a very indistinctly better. If you want to get on and say, wow, I can't even believe you don't believe the other thing is the better game, I'm not going to fault you. I mean, it really is, you know, like, it doesn't have the crash events. I can totally see where you'd say that. This is so good, it's really just a matter of preference. Just like, so what is making the preference work for you? And I want to hear that in the commentaries, because Maybe I did get it wrong. I'm still not sure if I got it right. I'm usually very confident about this sort of thing. Like if I'm like, this is definitely the best one. NHL 2001 is the best hockey game there has ever been. Of course, though, it might have been because one of my favorite teams was playing. Woo! I love exploration stuff. So we're going to go back and I think I saw something new there. Hey, how cool is that? Oops. Whoopsie. And I think I need to switch it around here and then turn around and get the other one. Yep. Yeah, I like the explorative nature of this. Things like little puzzles to work out, different methods of doing things. Those are the things that I find really interesting in a game. How did I get here without doing the other? Drift points, yeah. I can't even drift point on that. I feel like I missed something somewhere. But yeah, this kind of crazy stuff here. Whee! Totally my jam. And this is that component I was saying that had that real Midnight Club racing thing to it, because except for it's got this. I mean, just these crazy crashes, all the destruction attached into just utter mayhem in a game is always a good thing, I think. But, whew. And those are crash areas that would probably calculate up into huge stunt driving gameplay. It's just proven to be a really fun game so far, like on levels that I wasn't expecting it to do. Oh, there's another little thing over there. I may have to go back for that one. I don't know. All right, drivable. Whee! See that big clod of a thing over there? Well, maybe I need to look and go, well, how do I get over to that one? Maybe I shouldn't go for that one. Maybe there's other things I need to be doing with my life, like ending this video, letting you go on with your lives. But knocking out the signs actually is pretty fun, and hopefully nope, missed it. Whee! And that's going to be a problem for me. And I probably should take up that problem for later, because oddly enough, I probably need to figure out a way to end the video. Maybe I could come up with another list. Oh, it's that one again. God damn, I hate that one. Bong! I keep trying to find a way of doing that one, and I don't. It's just a good puzzle, though. And there's stuff in here that is a lot of good puzzles. So I'm going to get on with my little puzzles and stuff. I'm probably actually going to find a different game to play. I may do some videos on these in the near future for my other channel. I've spent too much time on this already, but whatever you got, With that, though, I have to say thanks for watching, and goats out, my friends.